first principle and the following expression. Find the rate of change at x equal to, if I put -2, do you think it work? If I put the question like that, do you think it work? Okay, why it doesn't work? Yeah, because -2. If the question come out like that, how will you answer? Yeah, you say -2 is not part of the domain. Young lady, why are you playing with your handphone? -2 is not part of the domain, correct? So it doesn't work. So there is no, the function is not defined at x equal to -2. So there is no solution for this case. So is it possible that I will ask question like that? Possible. Anything is possible. You have to know that it must be part of the domain, then only it can work. So now I change it to 2, okay? So now the following. Okay, so now I give you okay. So I want you to use this. All right. So this is what the textbook give you the formula. Am I right? Okay, so if they want us to use, so we just straight away use a formula and we get the answer. So now, but first of all, do you know what is the meaning of this part? What is this? Question can ask. What is that? If I ask you to state the meaning of F2 plus H minus F2 over H, so how will you state? Yesterday I taught you already. Please, someone in the class? The chord is a straight line. If I have the graph, okay. So you see, that is where I test your understanding. How the formula come about. Okay, if I sketch the graph will go like that. Y equal to √2. So here is my 2. Here is my 2 plus H. So if you say it's the chord, yeah, this is the chord. Yes, that is the key. If you just tell me average rate of change, I also will give you 0 mark. Do you know why?
Average rate of change of what?
Of what? Of what? Okay, first of all, if I look at this and I look at the diagram, straight away, things come into my mind. This represents the slope of chord. Refer to the graph. Please don't copy down. AB. That is first thing come into my mind, correct? Okay, that is the slope of chord AB. Yesterday, I told you, please bear that in mind. What is the meaning of the slope of the chord? Please give me the answer.
A straight line to represent 2 points in case the graph is a curve.
Young man, listen carefully. I'm not asking you what is a chord. Listen to the question carefully. I'm not asking what is the chord. I'm asking what is the meaning of this expression. Am I right? Yes. We cannot say the average change of the chord. Some more? Wonderful. You see how specific you have to be. So this is the average rate of change of y equal to square root of x from. This is very important. Without that, I will give you 0 mark. Not everything under is average rate of change of what? From where to where? You have to specify it clearly. Is the average rate of change from x equal to 2 to x equal to 2 plus h. Fail to state this clearly. Anything here you miss, gone. So these are the important thing. Is the average from. Thank you. That is how precise and how specific you have to be when you talk about maths. In the exam, can I write this expression and ask you what is the meaning of this? Yes. If yesterday you listened to carefully to what I teach, correct? Is this formula same as mine? Why not? At first, I find what is the value of this expression first, correct? Then I write the limit, am I right? So if you are using this expression to do you know that for this case, you have to write limit all the way through? That means if I work out using this, so this formula is exactly like what I have yesterday. It's just that they present it in a different way. After I'm going to show you another one. So if I straight away use this formula and work it out, so I have to write it this way. So I will write my f square root of 2 plus h, take away square root of 2 divided by h. Isn't it? We write it like that. Okay, then the next step, you also have to write limit. Then you have to simplify this. Okay, yesterday I teach you how to simplify fraction, correct? So today I want to teach you how to simplify if I have square root. Okay, so the way to simplify is I'm going to multiply this fraction with the conjugate. Here is a minus, here I put a plus. So actually I'm multiplying the whole fraction by what? By 1. Because same thing divide by same thing, you get 1. Am I right? Did I change the value of the fraction? No. So this is what you call in maths equivalent fraction. Still remember when you learn in standard 3 or standard 4, 1/2 is equal to 2/4. Yeah, it's the same thing. Top I times 2, bottom I times 2. Am I right? So this is called equivalent fraction. So I didn't change the value of the fraction, but I changed the form. Okay, so what should I do next step? So I'm not going to modify anything under the fraction. So anything under the fraction, still let it remain the same. So you have to write limit all the way through. So the bottom is h bracket square root of 2 plus h. And please, if in the square root you have more than one term, please bracket it up. Close. So the top, I'm going to use this concept. What concept is that? You learn in factorization, correct? A plus B times A minus B. What do you get? Hello. A squared minus B squared. Am I right? So you see a lot of things that you learn in high school, it apply here. So how am I going to simplify the top? Take this as your A and this as your B. This is your A and this is your B. So what is the solution? It will be, and another thing, square root, and you square it. You will get the A itself. Am I right? So this times this square. So the answer is 2 plus h. Am I right? Minus 2. Don't pamper your mind. All this don't have to write the step. Put it here. Use all these concepts. So you write at the side why it become like that. So this is another skill. When you see square root, that is what you're supposed to do. You have to memorize by heart, no choice. All these are memorized by heart so that you can work fast. If you don't, then you take a longer time, you cannot finish your SAT1, that's it. Why some people can do maths much faster than others? It's not that they are cleverer than you. It's because they memorize a lot of things. So maths is a subject, not only you have to understand, you have to memorize, then you have to know how to apply it. So why people find that maths is very difficult? No choice. You have to memorize. Understand? Not enough. You have to memorize. Then you have to learn how to apply it. Okay, so I got that. So now, you see, if you are using this formula, you have to keep writing limit all the way. For my case, when I say a slope of the chord, then I just write down, I don't have to write limit. Only when I have simplified the whole slope of the chord, then only last step I write the limit. Actually, there's nothing wrong. So depend on yourself. Okay, so it will be h divided by h over square root of 2 plus h plus square root of 2. So now h, we know h cannot be 0, correct? H approaches 0 but cannot be 0. So I can cancel it out. So now I have simplified it. So I can write down limit h tends towards 0, 1 over square root of 2 plus h plus square root of 2. So after I have taken the limit, then as h approaches 0, square root of 2 plus h will approach 2, square root of 2. Am I right? So now, can someone tell me square root of 2 plus square root of 2 equal to what? 2 square root 2. 1 square root 2 plus another square root of 2, I have 2 square root 2. Got it? So I will write it as 2 root 2, what? Root 2 over 4. Do you know why? Yeah, I simplify it. I told you already, the denominator shouldn't be radical, shouldn't be square root. Surd, we so-called S-U-R-D, surd. All right? So everyone know how to do it? So square root of 2 over 4, so it's around 1/4, 0.25 something. Correct? You can take out your calculator and calculate. So why I need to write in this form so that people can estimate the value easily compared to 1 over 2 root 2. I told you already, any of your presentation, if you want to get a good grade, whether later in September when we write our folio or whatsoever, you make sure you present it in such a way that you don't what? Burden the reader. It will burden the reader, too bad. Are you clear? Okay. So far, for about first principle, I have shown you all the skill that you need to know to simplify what? To simplify what? The slope of the chord. To simplify the average rate of change. So which one I'm going to ask you in the exam? That is my choice. Can I ask you a difficult one? Can. Can I ask you an easier one? Can. Up to me. So depend on the weightage that I'm going to give for this section during the exam. Okay. So are you done? So I'm done with first principle. Can you please open your textbook? So God give us, all of us, the ability to be creative. It's just you dare to be different or not. But you want to be dare to be different, first of all, you must have the basic knowledge first. So you must learn the basic concept properly first. Do you get me? Hello? So I got that. So now, can you please work out by yourself using this one? If you don't want to straight away use this formula, you can also use the method that I gave, like here. You put point A as -1. Okay, you can write in any way you like, but make sure is, okay, point A x equal to -1. So my f -1 will be equal to square root of 2 plus 2 minus -1, okay? So it's easier to simplify. 1 over 2 minus -1. So this is 1 over square root of 3. right? Point B, my x is equal to x. Am I right? So my fx will be equal to 1 over square root of x, 2 minus x. Put in bracket, please. So therefore, slope of chord AB, which represent the average rate of change from x equal to -1 to x equal to x, is equal to 1 over square root of 2 minus x, take away 1 over square root of 3 divided by x minus -1. You see or not? So I don't want to keep writing the limit, so I can do it like that. So now my job is to simplify this. Yeah? Still remember yesterday I talked about a fraction. How are we going to simplify a fraction? So this question involves 2 skills. So how to simplify fraction, please? Yeah. How to simplify fraction? So please remember this. Am I right? Do we? Okay. For me, I will prefer to get it of the fraction first using this. Okay, using this. So you look at how I do it. I just memorize by heart. Cross and write down. So I put cross. And the denominator become like this. So the denominator now become very complex. Okay. Right? Okay. So after I've done that, then I go by the square root concept. Over whatever is it. Okay, so I will write this as a minus b over k times square root of a plus square root of b. So I memorize by heart already. Do you see? So what I do is square root of a, square of a, take away my b is 2 minus x. Okay, divided by the k. The k means, and I have to time with this. See or not? This is my k. So I will root 3, root 2 minus x, then root 3 minus root 2 minus x. Close. You see or not? Times 1 over x plus 1. So you just memorize simple things like that. So you don't go and do step by step already. So if I see this, that is how I do, and that is how I get it. That is how you work fast. After you understand already, that is how you work fast. You have to memorize. So I memorize by crossing, put the denominator down there, square root, a, b, write down. Here is a plus, sorry. Here is a plus. Correct? You see here is a plus. So if you want to work max fast, you have to memorize. After you understand how this formula come about, how this simplification come about. Hello? Are you okay? So now I continue, simplify, slope of chord AB equal to. So this one, when you minus, correct? Isn't it the top you got x plus 1? Yep. Then the bottom, you just write down √3, √2 minus x, √3 plus √2 minus x. Just be patient and write it down. Times 1 over x plus 1. Am I right? So now,
how does 3 minus bracket 2 minus x disappear?
you work it out. 3 minus 2 is 1. Negative 1 times negative x times negative, you get x. Am I right? So all this is something that I don't think I have to write down the step at this stage. Am I right? The expansion of this. If you can come up, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just telling you, if you can come up to college level, correct? Simplification of this, you don't have to write down the step. You can work inside here. The step, I will not give you mark. Okay, so I simplified this. X cannot be -1, correct? It goes near -1, but it cannot be -1. Am I right? So therefore, f prime -1, that is the instantaneous rate of change. You can also write it as f prime instead of dy dx equal to limit x approaches -1. 1 over square root of 3 square root of 2 minus x square root of 3 plus square root of 2 minus x. Done. So this is equal to 1 over square root of 3 square root of 2 square root of 3 also, because x approaches -1, correct? Open bracket, square root of 3 plus another square root of 3. You just put your x as -1. So this is equal to 1 over square root of 3 times square root of 3, you got 3. 1 square root of 3 plus another square root of 3, you got 2 times of square root of 3. So the answer is equal to 1 over 2 times 3 is 6. If you don't want, you can just put like that. Two times 3 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18. So this will be 18. Yep. Okay. Can this come out in the exam? I just want to let you know. If you go to your SAT practice in times, SAT 1 practice, you will see. You'll see how the paper look like. And every year I come up with a different thing, yes? Okay? Young people, are you okay? So, you want to master your maths, especially when you talk about simplified.